You're not a good musician enough if you don't have enough playing time. What do I mean? Let's jump into this topic. What's up, guys? This is Gilberto. As usual, thank you for following my channel, YouTube channel, and all social media platforms. Today, I'm right here with this topic: why you're not a good musician enough. What could be the reason? Being a musician is not only being so good for doing nothing, okay? You cannot just be so good for doing nothing. You know the physics, the law of physics says that work done equals to what? Work done equals to what? Force times what? Distance, okay? Many musicians, you've heard this word over and over. Never play for money. I don't agree with it, but I'll tell you why I also agree with it. I'll come back to that point. Now, the first thing is that as a musician, learn how to understand that you need more playing time. In football, they have a saying that when a player has no more playing time, then a player is not so good. People like Messi or Ronaldo are so good because they have more playing time. Okay? Many upcoming musicians don't understand why people tell them don't ask for money, just play music, think of playing music, because these mature people are telling you that you need more playing time so that you gain experience, so that you get more exposed to working career of musicianship, and then more money will come in later. So it's a hard pill to swallow. This is a topic that cuts through bassists, guitarists, vocalists, and so on. So every beginning musician, what one of the things you need to know is that don't chase away the gigs. People will say, "Come, I'm giving you this little money." If it's Ugandan money, 50,000 Ugandan shillings is about, is very little money. You understand? But then you are gaining more. You need bigger gigs, which will come after being exposed. Okay? So this is not to discourage upcoming musicians. One of my teachers told me that one of the things you have to do before I even started gigs, he said, play with anyone, whether good or bad. And this helped me a lot because for the time I started working, I would play with people who are so radical. They don't know even what they're playing. They play wrong thing, wrong chords, and so on. You understand? All this kind of happening, working within these people who are like this, they help you a lot because you gain confidence. I've worked with pianists who don't want to know. You tell them that chord is not right. And you say, who are you talking? You're just a bassist. What are you talking about? You know nothing about chords. Really? 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 But because I knew what I wanted, I would keep quiet. I worked really for some time. And you realize after a long time, more people are picking interest in you. Some of the things you have to be careful is even when you're working for really no money or no what, you really need to work to be good. So some musicians are too good. They go out there for such situations and they say, I've pulled out. I'm no longer working for, I'm done. It's not the issue. You got to be patient enough. The music industry is not for the weak people. You have to be so patient to do your things. Why would you go for a cheaper gig? A cheaper gig is going to help you to land a record, different records within your country, within your locality, and internationally. Keep playing, okay? Whether in church, okay? So this is a topic that most people really underrate it because they don't think it's important. So musicians, you can only be good when you keep playing in church, keep playing in any kind of setup, just keep playing. Make sure you're so actively playing. You don't do that, you are gone because no one is going to hire someone who is not active. Keep playing and more people start seeing you. So if you think you're going to sit back, you've so learned, you have your degrees in music, you have your PhD, you have your master's in degree, you are a gone case in music. You are a dead walking body in the music industry. Most of these musicians you see who have become really prominent, they started playing from really almost no payment zone up to where they are now. Okay. For you, you just want to wake up and then you're ready, boom, playing for you know who, Chaka Khan, you understand? Boom, playing for who, Chris Brown. I mean, to mention but a few. No, it can't happen. There's a saying that says you cannot climb the tree from the top. You have to climb the tree from the beginning of the tree. Okay. So young musicians and upcoming musicians, you don't need to get discouraged. This is a journey you have to persevere with. When you learn the records, everyone gets to know you know the set list, and everyone gets to know your ability that you can really play well, you can groove well, and people get more interest to work with you. Always one musician connects you to another. Always one gig connects you to another, even when it's not paying. I've worked for situations where there's almost no payment, but then later on I realized these gigs have connected me to higher levels. You understand what I mean? There are so many people working in the industry. There are so many musicians who are working, and you think they are so good. There is no any musician who is so good unless you are actively working. Get me right and quote me well. No musician is so good unless you are working. Most of the musicians you see in your locality, in Uganda and other countries, outside wherever, most of them they sound to be so good just because they have opportunity to work. Okay? But then there are very good musicians who are not working. So the more you work, the better you become. Now, coming back to that point where people say you don't need to work for money, I've seen a lot of people here in Uganda say the same thing. You don't need to work for money, think of music. But even those people you hear telling you, please don't work for money. No, no. I'm telling you, they work for money and they work for really a lot of money. But the reason they're telling you they don't want you to fail to get playing time. There are moments where I've played for people because they are my friends and I don't really need much money. I've played for my friends just to be active. Even a rehearsal session helps you a lot to be into actively playing. You go for an orchestral play, some people might be laughing at you, but they don't know that you are benefiting from being active. Your dexterity is getting there, your nerves are getting there. You understand? So, musicians don't run away. You cannot be a good musician until you have very enough playing time. And trust me, it's not easy to see you until you accept to be seen. Now, other things that will come up by accepting to work in all situations of work is that later on you need to build up your character as a musician. I've seen of recent talking on internet saying that if you don't put yourself there for people to see you, no one is going to see you. There are so many musicians who don't know how to use the internet. They use internet for a lot of doing a lot of nothing on internet. Make sure you're so creative. Okay, why am I saying this? Is that after collecting all this experience, you need to start executing ideas. Make sure you kind of expand your territory of work. Okay, people will start hiring you for studio sessions. People start hiring you for other music related concerts and workshops and so on. Discussions and all this brings in income. So don't focus yourself on one thing. I need the gig, I need the gig. Work with people of all kinds. Everyone you meet to perform with in the music industry, they add something onto you. As a bass player, there's no way you're going to bump into the gigs when you've not learned enough songs, you've not had enough experience playing with people. And bass is what is as good as drums. This is the groove section. Every song has a specific groove. So these small bands that are not really paying you much, they are helping you to learn the songs, to learn the repertoires. They're also helping you to gain the ground, the more playing time. And lastly, these same small little paying bands or groups, they are helping you to go to the higher paying bands. And as time goes on, you realize you're able to, you understand, to earn a lot. I'm still learning a lot of songs. I'm still learning a lot of every session I go to, I find really challenging songs. So I just need more playing time. So this is a gospel, I would say, that should be preached to the base community, to the entire musicians community, that having more playing time is very important. I'm not against people who have preached, who have talked against, you don't need to work for any group because of money. I don't want to be like that, because otherwise we are not going to lift up the younger generations to enter into the music industry. They will see failures, because even you who are making a lot of money, you don't want to tell them the facts about what they have to do. You understand? Let people take their time to play. People need playing time. More payment comes along the way. It's as good as other, professions. People are put on probations, you understand? Even with other professions, people are put on probations to work for some time. I mean, what do you mean? That you don't need to have enough playing time? You don't have enough playing time, you totally know nothing as a musician, because musicianship is about execution, is about performance, is about being able to perform, It's about being able to work with others on stage, because that's where we see the climax of musicianship. I know you could say I'm a teacher, but then do you illustrate properly? Because your playability, a student is even playing better than you. You understand? Now, lastly, you'll find that in this working situation, these are things you need to know. That these gigs will help to tame you down, how you behave with people, will help you to understand how patient you have to be. There are also bad habits you have. For example, some musicians, they don't want to be told this is wrong, you played wrong. They want to be told you're so good, whoa, lo, lo, lo. You understand? I hate that. You have to accept to be teachable. So this is a ground for you. From there, you move to the next level, and we shall see you shining all over. So you play your bass with no history of how to develop, you are in trouble. Okay. I have done this kind of gigs in my very, very beginning. I used to play for gigs less than even $30, not because I wanted money. I wanted to gain more experience of work. I wanted to know what's happening in the field. Since I'm a content creator, I wanted to make lessons for you guys. So I used to be there to really, really not think of money. But it has helped me a lot to pave my way up to where I am. I hope this lesson has helped you guys. I wish you a nice time, and my policy is that pick the points that help you in this lesson. The points that don't help you, just leave it out. And see you next week for another episode of Lessons. Bye bye.